Okay, so we're in the garage, and I mentioned that for a final inspection that you're going to be required to make sure the house is gas proof, the garage basically, any openings. And one of the openings that's usually that always has to be done is the door frame around the drywall to make sure there's no gaps. So we're just going to go ahead and make sure that's sealed properly, and we're going to caulk that right now. So you want to take a shot of this, Mike? Okay, I'm just going to go right up here and just really lightly, gently go down, and then here we reverse it. There we go. There's a nice little bead there. And don't forget, under the door we've already done, on top of the door, and for instance, up there in the garage there, we had vac coming in the garage, although we haven't done it, but then there's an opening there, so we've capped that. So we've done that, and I'm sure the building inspector is going to be happy. Oh, one other thing that sometimes is overlooked. You have to make sure that you have a spring from the door. We're going to clean that up. From the door into from the garage door that's leading from the house into the garage. It has to have a spring on it to make sure it's always closing, because you don't want to have the car in here and then all of a sudden it doesn't close. So make sure you check that to make sure it closes it by itself, which ours does. Sometimes you have to adjust the spring, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's go in the house now. Right, so we're about to just double check for ourselves. I know it's already done, but I'm going to double check anyways to make sure that there's insulation and the tags on the stapled on the side of the attic hatch. And let's go take a look right now. And also, don't forget, make sure you or your trimmer, you have to put some weather stripping on the panel itself. Unless you actually buy an access door for the attic, then usually that all comes in one kit. But we build ourselves, so let me just double check it. And lift this right up. And you can see oh, there's the tag right there. All right, and you can see to make sure, once you see this, little bit of blown insulation, you'll know it's been done. Now, a good thing to do is, which I've already checked, which happens quite a bit, is the insulation will be blowing in. Sometimes your soffits and eaves troughs won't be done at the time when it's blowing in. What happens is, if you have a really hard windstorm, some of the insulation will blow off where it's been placed, and that won't be checked. So you will be getting some cold zones in those spots where it's been blowing off. So make sure when you put your head up and take a look around, an easy way to check it is if there's no real large areas of light coming through, then you'll know you're fine. If it's nice and dark in there, that means nothing's really been disturbed. But all of a sudden, if you see a bright spot somewhere, there's a good chance that some of the insulation has been blowing off the side there. So double check that. All right, let's go take a look at the next inspection detail we want to look at.